Yo, Tides Mopes, yo. Heard you was talking with Sage on your DOD podcast, yo. Aight, chill.
What's going on, y'all? This is Alexander Brown. You are now listening to DOD 45. Today's guest is Sage Francis. I hope everyone has a happy holiday and be safe.
Let me give you like a ballpark estimate of when the seasonal depression starts to hit from all the darkness.
What up, this is Black Lick, you know what I mean? Strange Famous is on, and you listening to DOD 45, hosted by Art by Ty. He draws excellent stick figures, and he's really into pencils. Special guest tonight, Sage Francis.
What up, it's Cast One. You're listening to DOD 45. Today's guest is Sage Francis. Strange Famous, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD 45.
This is the DOD 45 show, drawing over discussions 45 minutes with a special guest. Welcome. I'm your host and resident artist, Ty of Art by Ty, and with my co-host, Adrian Taiwali'i, we're having conversations with people who I admire and am inspired by. On this episode, I'll set a 45-minute timer, put my pen to the paper, and we'll learn about our guest through an interview-style discussion. So stay right here with us to experience some laughs and maybe even learn a thing or two.
DOD 45.
Recording in progress. Good morning, Adrian. How are you?
I'm good.
I wish I would have worn my Christmas
We'll go change.
sweater. I forgot about it.
It's not like you can't go change.
That's true, but that's a fun sound. Oh yeah, I noticed I've been clearing my throat a lot lately. Oh well. Our guest today is Sage Francis.
I want to show you something, she said. As if I had built up enough trust in her to the point where she could show me the type of thing that she had at first introduced by saying she wanted to show it instead of just showing it like look. And I don't feel like looking like the uninterested type. So I say, alright, show that shit. With a little bit more respect and reservation. It was my sister, for Christ's sakes. I'm waiting for a follow-up line. There usually always is the statements like, I want to show you something.
He's revisiting us, which is very cool.
Yeah, he's one of the people whose voice, just speaking voices, makes me happy.
Oh,
because it sounds just like his rapping voice, and I've just been listening to him for so long that it's just, just hearing his voice makes me smile.
Yeah, me too. And he was our very first guest, that was when we were first doing the episodes. It was just me, so.
Well, not really.
I mean, no.
Me too. You just cut me out.
No. I mean, the discussion part, because you were moderating, but it doesn't matter. I think that people by this point, if they listen to us regularly or watch us regularly, probably see that quite a bit. I shouldn't point out things. So
what did they see quite a bit of?
Oh, did I go? I'll start saying something, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Because I'm mostly, again, it doesn't matter. I think I start speaking before I've had time to before my mind can catch up.
Do you know, this week, as this airs, we have been together for 25 years.
Oh, shit.
That's when we started dating 25 years ago, probably to the day of this airing.
Yeah, our first date was like
the week of Christmas.
It was, and we went bowling with a bunch of noodle heads.
Yeah, you want me to break down the 25 years for you?
Yes, sure. Well, let me say real quick, though.
Real quick.
Oh, okay.
So.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
The first 5 years was me trying to get you out of your mom's basement. The next 5 years was trying to get you to go outside with me, like hike or walk.
To get out of the house, to do something outdoors?
Yes, just outside. Then the next 5 years, now we're at 15, was trying to get you to travel outside your home city, aside from Moab. And then the last 10 years was me trying to lasso you back into a reality of not thinking you can buy castles or property in every city, state, ground we touch.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's a 25 years in a nutshell. Once you broke out of Murray, Utah, then you were out of control. Hard to wrangle you in.
Yeah, the two things on that. I am what do you call it? Like a extremist? Not extreme. Like if I do something, I go like won't be like,
right. Like I think last week you decided you liked whiskey again, and now there's 75 bottles of different whiskey behind you.
Not last week, for quite a while.
Since we've been here, since November.
No, since Hannibal's, because it was while we were dumping out when we were leaving Hannibal, and I was throwing away hundreds of dollars of beer. And I was like, this is stupid.
I gave it away. I didn't throw it away. I gave it away.
But still, I had some really good ones in my refrigerator, and they were already a year old. And I was just like, this is just dumb. At least with these, they can last forever.
My point is, when you do something, you're like,
I'll go all the way.
You're like, oh, I'm going to start collecting records.
Yeah.
Last year, and now you have 7,000 records.
Yeah.
Your collection might look like Dibs' collection.
Not even close. But yes. And my collection is all mostly hip-hop, underground hip-hop.
And so when people hear you on this podcast going, oh, yeah, we almost brought property there, that was a fleeting thought of me going, no, we're not buying property here. Because you're always on the podcast going, oh, yeah, we were in Louisiana.
Oh,
I almost bought property there.
I see what you're doing here.
Like,
you're trying to cover. You get all concerned about you're covering.
No, it's just funny because I'm like, we never thought about it. You thought about it. You thought, wow, this would be a good spot. But we never actively looked for property. But you did.
Where? I think we
all over.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
There have been times where you're like, let's buy a castle in Europe.
I wanted to buy a castle so bad because I saw like how cheap they were. I mean, relatively. But then I watched that. There's a show on PBS. I can't remember what it's called, but this couple's rehabilitating an old castle. It's just fantastic castle.
You were well ahead of the games.
But I mean, the amount of work that they've had to put into it just is, I mean, we've already put so much work into our. Yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to notice, because the two things I had to point out from what you just brought up, I am an extremist or whatever, and sounds like your whole relationship is you trying to change me. I've never done anything to try to change you. I'm happy with what I got.
We'd still be in your mom's basement.
Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe.
I don't.
Well, so we specifically, I specifically reached out to Sage to see if he would join us for our holiday episode because of that reason you just mentioned about his voice. I don't even know if he's into Christmas. I mean, I see that he's posting and he's got kids and they seem to enjoy the holidays. And so his soothing voice and the holidays and I don't know, it seemed like when I reached out to him, I said, I think you'd be a perfect guest for our holiday episode. Mm-hmm. Not that we have to do a holiday episode either, but what are you laughing about?
Why are you over-explaining it?
I am. What I was going because I had a note saying that yes, it is worrisome to date episodes. We don't like to date episodes all that much with the holiday episode, but who cares?
Oh, I don't care about that. I just didn't want people to have to listen to our giveaway that we're doing in the live chat currently.
Oh yeah,
that's it. That's all I'll mention of it.
Have we figured out how we're doing the giveaway?
Yeah, we'll talk off air.
Oh, okay. But I don't need. It's nothing I got to mention right now.
Mm-mm.
Okay, cool.
I don't think we might have to insert some audio.
Well, a few other things. Yes, we're giving away some gifts from our putting together a gift basket from our sponsors with some Hob sauce and some stuff from Brim of the World, and obviously stuff from Art by Ty. We got some puzzles. We got some prints. We're going to give away to you guys for listening and being.
Oh, maybe we should give away a stay at Old Blue.
Oh, we'll give away a stay at our gallery at Old Blue.
I guess we just decided that.
We just did that. We can do whatever we want. It's our show.
We will you will already have known all this by the time you watch or
Yep.
listen, or you didn't, or it's way well beyond.
Yeah.
December of 2022.
Well, that's what I was thinking about all night last night. I was like, well, would I go back and listen to an episode that happened
Yes.
during the holidays if it wasn't during the holidays? And then I thought,
Totally.
well, shit, if Sage was the guest, I would.
You would.
Hey, so yesterday, I don't even want to go into it because I don't know a whole lot about it, but I did see the other day, or maybe it was yesterday, that the scientists have had a breakthrough with nuclear fusion.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty, that's something.
That is.
They said that they could only, with what they came up with, they could only charge like 11 tea kettles. So we're a long ways out.
Not really. I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You get those thinkers going and then it's out of control.
Once they make a breakthrough, then it goes quickly. But we're still a little bit of ways. I also was thinking about, man, because I was listening to a bunch of shows last night and watching shows, and I was thinking, man, there's so much I don't know specifically about things, but so I just wanted to make the statement that I know a little bit about a whole lot of things.
As do we all.
Okay, cool. And then I was listening to the Travelers podcast last night. That's Brother Ali's podcast. And it was Sage Francis's episode. And Sage mentioned that he just did a song with Chuck D, which is fucking awesome as it is, but that it's produced by Buck 65. And Sage says it's like you won't find it.
No, I wasn't going to look for it.
He hasn't put it out. He said that Buck brought out all the stops. So you'd be excited about that.
How recent is this?
Like they just recorded it.
Oh, cool.
And Sage said he's going to sit on it. I don't have any way of, I would love for him to just get that out ASAP, but he was saying he's going to sit on it. It's that good.
So I wonder why sit on it?
Because he said it's just so good. It's so good that he wants to bring it out
with some more stuff.
Yeah, with he doesn't want to just release it nonchalantly or something. Yeah. Thought you'd like that. And then one other thing, since it is a holiday episode, also mysteriously came up. Do you know what Amanita muscaria is?
No.
It's a mushroom. It's the red mushroom with the little speckles on top.
Oh yeah, the deadly one.
Yeah, no.
I thought that was.
I know. So that's the one that the Smurfs live in, or that
it's the one
that Mario eats.
Everyone knows.
Yeah. So listen to this. This is so fascinating to me. There's stories. There's a myth that Siberian reindeer herders used to feed it to the reindeer, and then that would get the reindeer would dance and get all crazy from it and look like jump around like they were flying.
So they got high off of it.
The reindeer, yeah. So they would look like they were flying around. Then the cultures would pick, they would pick the mushrooms in the fall, dry them in the spruce trees. Then the shaman of each tribe would distribute the mushrooms
to people
in the winter, during winter solstice in December.
That's today, as this airs.
Well, and then they'd all trip and laugh and be merry. And if the snow was heavy at their around their homes, they couldn't use the door, so they would come in through the roof.
Who would?
The Siberian, the people,
the
cultures, not the Siberians. I'm sorry, the cultures, all these cultures. The people.
So this is more like pagan stuff, kind of?
So the myth is this is where
there's the Vikings.
That due to this Amanita muscaria is part of how the Santa Claus and the Christmas and the flying reindeer.
Listen, if you look at any ancient lore, it's going to come back to something explainable.
I just thought it was cool because I'm way into mushroom.
I know you are. Gosh, is it Cyclops that has the one eyeball?
Yes.
You know what that is? What they hypothesize
Oh no, I don't.
An elephant skull. Like if you look at an elephant skull.
Well, I know. I draw them all the time.
Oh, so they have that big hole in the center, and it's this big giant, right? Isn't Cyclops a giant? as well.
Yeah, in some of the stories, definitely in Clash of the Titans.
So yeah, like everything kind of goes back to a little thing.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I always bring that up because it is a holiday.
They came through
thing.
the chimneys. Why? Because it was so snowy.
If there was so much snow
Finland?
piled up, well, yeah, all the wherever the cultures were, wherever this, wherever that was taking place, Northern Europe,
like
so
Russia, Finland.
Yeah.
What's up? What else?
But that's just
Sweden's
part.
up there.
Maybe that's just myth, but they're just saying, if the snow was so high, you couldn't come through the door, you'd come through the roof, and so this is just a theory that I heard. That was like, wow, that's interesting.
Back then, if they're building like thatch housing, that's really easy to come through to hop up on the roof and come through.
Well, so the amanita that grows in spruce, in the roots of spruce, birch, and pine. And the tree provides the sugars to the mushroom from the roots below.
That's interesting, too, because I went to the craft store recently, and they had a lot of mushrooms, those same mushrooms with a Christmas decor, and I was, like, getting irritated, as I do.
Of course.
Because I'm like, what does it have to do with Christmas? Why are they now pushing mushrooms into Christmas?
Well, and I don't know how vast and widespread that theory is.
Well, you've seen recently all the gnomes in America.
Yeah.
And we saw that maybe 10 years ago in Europe everywhere.
Yeah.
But so maybe it's something like the gnomes, like maybe some of the northern cultures put out the little mushroom decorations.
Well, and so just to be clear too, the what do you call them? Do you call them species?
Of what?
That mushroom. Mm-hmm. It's the same species as the death cap, and there's like 6 other ones that are incredibly deadly.
But they knew which was which. They could identify.
They can identify. Yeah, and this one has the little small. It's like a ring around underneath the cap.
Oh, okay. That's called a shelf. I think.
Yeah, and that's like with the old cap, and it grows past through that. Mm-hmm. And then also this one has a bulb at the bottom that they called the vulva. I think it's called the vulva.
Probably.
I know, but that's how you can tell the difference. And it's like the chemical. If you're interested,
you shouldn't look for the difference.
No, I'm just saying if you're interested in the stuff, go look at it. Because I realized from our dope knife episode yesterday or last week that went heavy into the Antarctica thing, and I was thinking, oh man, that must have just bored the hell out of people. But oh well, this show is for you and I. And okay.
No, I was getting.
Let me say,
my hair's wet.
I wanted to.
Weird.
Oh, you can't even tell, or is it cold?
No.
I wanted to quickly mention some notable Christmas songs, Christmas raps, Christmas songs, real quick.
I only know that
My
there's
favorite.
Run
there's
DMC
a bunch. So there's Santa's Rap by Treacherous 3. These are my favorites. Santa's Rap by Treacherous 3 is probably my number one favorite.
Never heard of it.
You have, once you hear it. I almost know it lyric from front to back.
Rap it for us.
No, I'm not going to do that because it'll take forever.
Okay.
Merry Motherfucking Christmas by Eazy-E.
I thought that was Run the Jewels.
No. They do have one that's also on this list, but Eazy-E's Merry Motherfucking Christmas.
Okay.
Santa's Got a Motherfucking Uzi by Mr. Liff. The only place I found that is on YouTube. And then Christmas Fucking Miracle, that one's by Run the Jewels.
Okay.
That one's great. That one's awesome.
That was a good one.
And then If I Was Santa Claus, that's by Atmosphere. And that's a relatively newer one. Millie Pulled a Pistol on Santa by De La Soul.
I was going to say that's De La Soul.
Yeah,
Millie Pulled a Pistol.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was on Santa. Gosh, I got to go back into my brain to hear those lyrics.
I know, and you can only go back to albums for that because that one's not on
I mean,
Spotify.
in my brain.
Oh, okay. And then Yuletide Throwdown is a new one I just discovered, and that's a Cut Chemist remix with Blondie and Fab Five Freddy. It's so cool.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
But didn't your
remix.
homie, Yoni Wolf, have a Hanukkah Christmas song?
I'm sure he did.
You didn't add that. How rude.
No, I wasn't. I was just going over some of the ones that I've put in this playlist that I've been rocking as the DOD 45 Christmas playlist.
I'm just joking anyway.
Okay, so then we're doing a giveaway, obviously. But I had something I thought would be fun. And I wanted to maybe a drinking game from this episode.
Okay, let's do it. I'll drink my coffee.
And not for just during the live chat for the viewers. Yeah. So, and also with this, obviously drink responsibly. I'm not a lunatic with like, oh, let's get all drunk and stuff. I just thought it would be something fun.
Yeah, you are. Look at that whiskey behind you.
Yeah, but I don't.
Just kidding.
Okay, so in the game, so here's the drink. Here's the times when you take a drink if you're gonna play along. Drink when I use the word holiday, or when I say maybe
stutter.
Yeah, maybe we should clip the because if I say if you drink every time I say you might be hammered before the first 10 minutes.
What about Christmas?
But maybe that'll make me focus on getting rid of the word
That was different than
Okay, so doesn't count, but if I do like then you drink then. Okay, here's my list that I came up with. Drink when I use the word holiday, when I use the when Adrian says home alone, if she ever says home alone.
I won't say it, sorry. When
Sage says the word Christmas, and also whenever Sage when the name or word Sage is said. Do you want to add one?
By anybody?
Yeah, by anybody. So if you want to write those down.
You'll have them listed, I'm sure.
When I say holiday or when Adrian says home alone, or what other term would you possibly...
You edit these, so you know what I say more than I know what I say.
Okay, well, let's do it when Sage or Adrian say Christmas.
Okay.
And then whenever the word Sage is the word or name Sage.
Okay, so while we take our break, everybody should go get themselves a stiff one.
No, don't because I'm going to say a lot. Just whatever you're drinking, take a drink during the drink games. Make sure you do it responsibly. Hey, real quick, I know he's waiting. I wanted to have this conversation with you before he was on. He on the Travelers podcast. He also mentioned he's. I think it's probably weighing on him. Realizes he's probably got to go back out on tour, but he doesn't want to be away from his family. Mm-hmm. And you know me, whenever I have this conversation with people, mine's always the easy one. But maybe it's not that easy. I always say like, well, just take your family with you because that's what we did. But is that harder than the way I imagine it?
Yeah. His wife has a career, and then I know they have some young, I think his son is pretty young, but then the other kids aren't. So that's not really
an
option for most people. Yeah, okay. They probably love whatever school they go to and the rituals.
No,
it wasn't
understand
easy.
That. No, it wasn't.
Was hard on the kids in a lot of ways, and
it definitely was. But
I put a lot behind to just focus on homeschooling and stuff. So
I wanted to give that opportunity for you to say that. So I won't even bring that up because that's But that was my way. I was like, if I'm either gonna take you guys with me or I can't do this.
But he'll figure it out. And I'm sure he'll schedule it around the important things in his kid's life and his and within his family.
Yeah. I've only in our together we've been doing shows for 15 years traveling.
Yes.
Year round.
Yes. 15 years.
15 years. In that time, I've probably done a show maybe 3 times by myself, and I was miserable. So I that's why I know that's
you're different.
That's a burden. Oh, that's true.
Also, when it comes to us traveling and doing that, I was doing it as well prior to the kids starting school.
You were doing?
We were the paintings and stuff.
Right.
So we were kind of doing not the same thing. You were definitely doing it at a different level.
But we were both creative.
We were doing it together.
Yeah.
And then I stepped back because of school.
Okay. So I guess we're not necessarily promoting it because they sold out, but this is the 20th anniversary of Sage's personal journals.
Oh, cool.
This is the double EP, and it's so awesome. Maybe there are still some available, but it's got like a book full of liner notes. It's
wow.
It's awesome. But there was that.
Lucky
and then
you.
I know. And then last night I was working on this. This seems to be pretty popular, and I just wanted to show it since it is the Art by Ty's show.
Oh, you can't see it. Well, why don't you show it under your other screen? Or is that too hard?
Yeah, it's too hard to edit it in. That's Rancor. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break. I believe I haven't said yet, so you might be fine. And we'll be right back with Sage Francis, and we're going to talk the holidays.
DOD 45.
Hot sauce. We're real thrilled to have partnered with Hot Sauce for 3 simple reasons. Their hot sauce is delicious, the owner and creator David is a solid dude, and they collaborate with dope artists for their labels, including myself. Boom. Amplify your favorite foods with their award-winning flavors. Head over to hobsauces.com to get yourself some absolutely delicious artisan hot sauce. Hit it, Bobby.
Have sauce. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Put it on your food.
Hot sauce.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the world. My name is Tony, and I have a podcast, too. I know what you're saying. I already know. Okay, but I have a podcast, too. Just like you, just like your grandma, just like your grandma's neighbor. We all have podcasts, except mine is different. I'm different. I was born different. The Speaker Face podcast is fun. It will teach you probably nothing. You cannot smell it, and you definitely can taste it. Speaker Face podcast by me, AWOL1, and I talk to my friends. I talk to musicians, artists, all kinds of creative people, all kinds of human beings. I do like little songs and little freestyles and skits. And so after you're done listening to DOD 45 with my man Ty, which is a very, 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 very interesting podcast that you should religiously watch and listen to, after you're done, check out speakerface.store for the Speaker Face podcast. And you could also listen to it wherever other podcasts are podcasting. You know what I'm saying? So check it out, Speaker Face podcast. Your life will be better. I don't promise. Speaker Face podcast.
Check out our new partners, Brim of the World, a.k.a. Seek, Conquer, and Destroy, a.k.a. Aliens Built Earth. I'm always wearing their gear, especially the hats, and in almost every episode of the DOD 45, you'll see me rocking something from these cats, because I'm a fan. Show them some love and treat yourself right to a new wardrobe or some new headgear, and I'm not talking about braces headgear, I'm talking about hats. Check out all their gear and links at brimoftheworld.com. Hey, real quick, my friends, my art is available for purchase at artbyty.com. So if you like what you're seeing or you want to support the DOD 45 show, the best way for you to do that is to pick up a print or an original at my website. If you're not quite ready to buy, but you still want to help out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you stream from. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Art by Ty and engage in the comments. That goes a long way. All right, enough already. Let's get back to the show.
DOD 45.
Hello there. Can you hear us?
Not yet.
Here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I had to drive to my office because my internet's really poor at my house, and I forgot to bring my headphones. So I hope that doesn't turn into an issue here.
It's fine. It's fine. I saw that you did post it. I saw your post that you were struggling with internet. Are you guys getting storm out there yet?
Yeah, we got a lot of snow. Well, not too much. We got our first good snow.
Yeah, I would say we've probably in the last 3 days got about 3 or 4 feet. Wouldn't you? Well, no. I'm sorry. Up in the mountains, we've got at least.
It hasn't stopped snowing here, but aren't you guys getting hit with another storm right now?
Nah, I looked at my weather app and we don't have snow coming for a while. It feels like it. It's freezing cold outside, but no, I don't think we have any snow on the way right now.
Well, thanks for joining us again. Welcome back.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure. Absolutely.
We were just talking about how we enjoy hearing your voice.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, this is my first time chatting directly with Adrian as well. So what's up, Adrian?
Hi.
Hey, you're a great addition to this show, to this podcast.
That's very nice of you to say. Thank you.
Yeah, it is good because it's like the person who would be the best president is someone who doesn't want to be a president.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She just does not want to be part of this at all.
It's the balance that she brings to it really helps out.
Yeah.
So it's a good pairing between you two on this thing.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's how our whole last 25 years has been, I think.
Yeah.
She just
That's
announced,
good. It's a great partnership.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, this is our just basic. When this airs, pretty much will be our 25th anniversary. So
Wow.
of our first date.
Yeah, of our first date, our very first date. Before I start the timer and start drawing, I wanted to ask you: do you enjoy the holidays?
A lot more now that I have kids, but it also becomes much more stressful with the kids. So it's a little of this, a little of that.
Yeah.
When I was, for as long as I was single or not married, I actually would come up with excuses to book shows around the holidays so that I didn't really have to be involved in the stress of it. And my family is so scattered that there's no one place I can go to where I would be able to see everybody. So it was a great reason to get out and do a show and make money. But yeah, now it's reliving the magic of Christmas youth and getting to see the kids, the joy on their faces and them just creating a huge mess and playing with one toy for a minute and then forgetting about it for 6 months.
When you were growing up, was there Christmas in the house? Was it like something that was celebrated or like holidays?
I was an only child. We didn't really have a lot of kids in my immediate family. Like, I had 2 cousins, and so every Christmas we would gather at my grandmother's house in Rhode Island, and it was a big to do. It was like, definitely, I have a lot of great memories from that. It hasn't been like that for a very long time. I mean, once my grandmother and mom moved to Florida, that was the end of it, really. I mean, I was the weird uncle who would pop in on Christmas morning to watch other kids open gifts, and I felt like a straggler. It was, it was nice, but not really anything close to what I'm experiencing now as a dad.
Yeah, it's significantly different, or it also brings up a lot of those nostalgic memories when you watch your kids and realize how much fun they're having with it. I guess that's why we keep these traditions going.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason. I mean, I like Halloween a lot better. I also like how we've extended the Christmas season for all of December, but that also seems like Halloween then trickles into Christmas, and it all is like one. Like, to my 2-year-old son, I feel like it's just been Halloween for 2 months now with all the like weird decorations and the songs and, everything that goes along with Christmas can easily be translated into Halloween, except for the religious part.
Right. But they came from, isn't Halloween a pagan holiday as well?
Yeah, they're both pagan holidays.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went to a good friend of ours has a Christmas party every year, and it was just a few nights ago, and it was Halloween decorations everywhere still.
With stockings.
With stockings. And then, do you have any current online beefs happening? And I asked that because I think you enjoy getting into when you post something, people have something stupid to say. I had an experience with one guy.
Well, yeah, because my voice reaches a lot of different types of people, and I've acquired fans through different eras of, through many different eras. So there's different mentalities, different age groups. Some will be offended by one thing, others by other things. But I really don't enjoy that at all. I used to kind of like, when I had the time where I could sit down and actually address people comfortably and not have to do it in a rush and then leave and do dishes or something. Like, I don't like that conversations are happening on my pages without me moderating it somehow. So I really try not to get into that. But this is like the last beef there's any time I post on Facebook, it turns into some kerfuffle, or he's like,
it's crazy.
You got like Elon Musk bootlickers and Spotify truthers, and it's like whenever I bring up one or the other, it's like it turns into a shitstorm of bad opinions. And every so often there's like some really well constructed comments and well thought out comments, which I really appreciate, but not enough for me to waste more time than I need to just being on those platforms.
Do you find that the people, are they fans that are getting in that want to, or are they kind of trolls? Or you have no way of really being able to tell?
It's mostly people. I mean, if they call themselves fans, just because they know who I am, that's not a fan.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fans who really try to help out in those situations, but I can't rely on that. And
do you have thick skin?
Yeah, I think I do. There's very little that truly upsets me. It like really gets on my nerves, other than like the microaggressions that pile up until it gets to a point where I just have to state very plainly, no, this isn't about you. Please understand, I'm talking from a place of experience and understanding. It's my career. It's been my life. This is how things work. If you don't want to believe that, fine. But don't try to tell me my experience and what happened with the internet over the past 20 years and with streaming services and with music consumption and on and on and on and on. Or anything music related. No one can tell me shit. Nobody.
Right.
I'm really shocked to hear that anybody has any beef or anything negative to even say on your post.
It's usually when he posts like the Spotify. Yes, people always freak out about that. And then there was a whole thing about the whole Twitter thing. And
so those are the two big things that happened recently. But people, no matter when I bring up Spotify, it really brings out people who are overly defensive and misunderstanding what I'm saying, and they take it personally. They think I'm shitting on them, and then they feel bad if they have me in a playlist or something. And I can't. It just sucks that I have to say it over and over again, but sometimes it actually makes sense. So I appreciate being on your Spotify playlist. I love when our music is shared. If any strange famous fans out there want to share the music on Spotify, wonderful. You just have to understand it is not the end all be all to music consumption, and we hardly see any money from those streams. And that doesn't mean, I should just take my music off Spotify then.
Right.
That's really I'm trying to help people understand the ecosystem of how artists can maybe do better and feel more appreciated by the people who love their music.
Well, that being said, are you encouraged by the quick sellout of the 20th anniversary personal journals?
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea how that was going to go. I mean, part of me was like, oh yeah, of course it's going to sell out. No worries. We only had 200 copies amongst the 1,000 that were pressed. So the other vinyl went to Newberry Comics and a few other stores. But on the eve of us announcing the 200 vinyl, I started freaking out and I started coming up with like a bunch of promo plans, and I stayed up all night long to make sure everything was exactly how it needed to be. And then I overslept. Like we went live at 10 a.m. and sold out of them at 10, 11 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And by the time I checked my email, worried, I was like, oh man, what did I fuck something up? It was like, nah, they're all gone. So thank you, everybody.
Congratulations, that's really cool.
Yeah, that is encouraging, because what you tend to forget. I mean, these days, moving, it shouldn't be, but these days, moving vinyl of any.
Yeah, and vinyl's not cheap, so I understand that. That's also the reason I was like, I don't know how much disposable income people out there really have. For,
what were people paying for? Well, this personal journals has never been on vinyl, right?
No, yeah, it was. It was on vinyl.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, right when it first came out, it was on vinyl. Then we repressed it on Strange Famous. So it's been through 2 or 3 repressings, but this is the first time that we included like a big booklet with pictures and backstories and all the lyrics. So that was a cool addition to.
What were they? Do you happen to remember what you would get that vinyl for back when it first came out?
Probably sold it for $15 or maybe $20.
Yeah.
But
everything is produced cheaper. Not saying your vinyls are, but for whatever reason, it's significantly more expensive.
It's definitely more difficult. Pressing vinyl right now is really a difficult and expensive endeavor.
Yes.
Everybody I know is having issues with it. I mean, we ordered these vinyl like almost a year ago. It took that long for us to get them. And that's why we're at the very tail end of 2022, and 2022 is the 20-year anniversary. So we wanted these vinyl much earlier so we could like celebrate it and get as many sales as possible and not clutter the Christmas holiday season, which is always bananas. It's just chaos on all ends. So
it is. And then people,
but what the good thing is we have a couple more really special items that we're going to announce at the beginning of next year. We didn't really want to complicate the holiday season too much. So once all that, once we get a little bit of a breather, we're going to bust out a couple very special items that I think people who weren't able to get the vinyl will be pretty happy to get this other stuff.
Awesome.
And it sounds like the vinyl is still available if you look in physical stores.
Hardly though. It'll be available by the time this podcast goes live. But I know that Newberry only had 500, and I think they sold out of 400 in pre-sales.
Oh wow!
So the rest of them is just very few will be scattered amongst the U.S. and a couple international record shops.
Yeah, that's encouraging to me. I'm glad to hear that people are buying.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then wasn't there a record factory presser that burnt down or something? Is that why it's become so difficult for people to get their records done?
Yeah, that's partly why. And in the U.S., there's really hardly any pressing plants, and the ones that we do have, they're just bombarded by pop culture, the pop culture trend of pressing vinyl. So Taylor Swift will take up a whole factory.
Yeah. Whereas, she has no problem moving 500 vinyl.
No, and she's in like Best Buy and whatever.
She's everywhere. Yeah.
But it is cool to see that there is that, like, people are now collecting vinyl. My kids are starting to collect CDs, which is fun.
Hell yeah, let's bring that back.
I think for sure. My daughter's she's got her finger on the pulse, and she just got her license, and she's like, we just took her to get her car, and she was like, as long as there's a CD player in it.
Luckily she got one, because now they're not including CD players in vehicles.
Yeah,
she got one.
She got one.
It's old enough.
It's old card, but it costs as much as a new car these days.
Yeah.
No.
One other quick thing. How close are we to hearing the first broadcast of the Hard Lurk?
That's something I'll do for next year. It's in my head at all times, but it's going to be. I keep thinking, like, at first I didn't want to do interviews. I really wanted it to just be a very solitary me, just letting all the thoughts out and not being interrupted by anybody. But then I also don't like to talk, so I need others to prompt me to talk about things. So I understand that'll be an issue after like 2 episodes where I've run out of anything I really want to talk about. Watching how other people do it, including yourself, it's like, this is a wonderful way to connect with people that that I know, but I don't often get to speak to. So it's a great excuse just to powwow with friends and talk some shit and get some stories out of them that maybe, they remember better than I do.
I think that's awesome too. Cause I often wonder if people are worried, like, are people even into this? It was 1:00 in the morning last night, and I listened to you on the Travelers podcast, and it was really just like YouTube, going on about the good old days, and I fucking loved it. The time flew by. I don't know. I think people like to hear that.
It's all I listen to.
Yeah.
Podcasts and sports radio. I don't even listen to music anymore, just because I need my break. So then when I get to doing my work, it's all music. So I love to hear chatter in the background on various topics, things I might learn about. That's been my entertainment throughout the day while I do chores.
Were you guys just talking about the release thing, or are you talking about the Chuck D thing?
No, I was talking about Brother. Well, because on the Travelers pod, on Ali's podcast, Sage and him were just kind of talking about old times and when they first met and stuff. It's a really cool episode,
right? But releasing something and Sage is saying that he doesn't really want to talk much about it. But
I was talking about his podcast, The Hard Lurk. Remember, he was talking about that was what he wanted to do.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry,
okay.
I didn't mean to leave you in the dust there.
In 2020, I purchased all the URLs. I secured all the social media. And I got artwork for it from Inky Mole, incredible artist in the UK. She did the logo. I got Chesky to sing an interlude part that I'm going to use on every podcast. I got this dude, Alan Haig, to sing the intro song. So I had everything in place, and just life got. That was like 2020. Obviously, shit hit the fan, and my son was born. And it just became impossible for me to really tackle it. But it's so funny now for me to look back. I'm like, this was supposed to be 2 years ago, and now it's 3 years ago, and it's still not. And everybody is like, yo, where is the podcast? I'm like, you also want a record. You also want this. You want that. I was like, I'm getting on it, but I work at a very slow and careful pace, and I want it to be enjoyable on several levels. So I'm not just going to go out there and do some. I hope I don't just go out there and do some, me bullshitting and not offering anything of substance. It has to be something that I think is special. So that's why I'm taking my time with it.
Yeah, I admire that. I really do. You're a professional. You've been doing this long enough. You know what the hell you're doing.
Sorta.
Well, you at least know how to put your, for lack of a better term, product out, and how to get yourself out.
Yeah.
You've been grinding for a while. Hey, what do you?
I can brand.
Yeah. What do you call someone from Rhode Island? I really don't know. You don't call each other Islanders.
Roadies?
No, Rhode Islanders. Rhode Islanders.
Okay. Does anyone ever call them Islanders? I don't know.
No.
I just had that thought last night. I was like, well, they're Islanders. All right. Timer set. I got a cool little drawing. I'm specifically kind of drawing it for your son. So we'll see. I'll try not to make it too crazy.
Don't scare him.
It's not. It's yeah.
He likes spooky. He likes spooky.
Oh,
that's
okay.
good.
Well,
we get a lot of kids who are like, "Oh, this is scary."
All right, let's kick you off with a Sophie's choice. Who do you think had more influence on '80s kids, Paul Rubin or Pauly Shore?
Paul Rubin.
Yeah,
by far. Pauly Shore may have had more influence on '90s kids, early '90s kids, but Paul Rubin. My grandmother was a huge fan of his. She still has a talking doll that she's trying to pawn off on me because she thinks she's dying, I think. And she's like trying to push all of her physical items onto me and get rid of them and clear her space, which is heartbreaking. But also I feel like if I keep rejecting them, she's not going to die. So, but not to be all morbid all of a sudden.
But that's true.
Grandma, a couple of my grandmas, one who's still living, she did the same thing, and she's just living a minimalist life now. She's living very healthy, and has very little in there, but it makes her feel better. So,
yeah, maybe.
I want her. I don't want her to clear out her space. I want her to have her thing. She always has been a minimalist. She hardly has anything. So, like I like really remember the doll, the Pee Wee Herman doll, because it just sticks out as like what a weird thing out of like not much stuff that my grandma has that she keeps on her shelf.
I have that same one, the one you pull the string on.
Yeah.
I got that in the box somewhere. I love Pee-wee.
Yeah, she got it in the box too.
It's so great. What about whose movies do you know more titles of, Paul Verhoeven or Paul Thomas Anderson?
Oh, Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't really know the other guy.
Verhoeven did RoboCop, Showgirls, Starship Troopers, Total Recall, Basic Instinct, all those crazy ones.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of those. So,
are you a fan of P.T. Anderson's?
Yeah, nothing that I'd go out of my way to check out really, but
I guess I don't even really know. Are you a fan of movies?
I was. I'm not. I would never call myself a film buff.
Right. Now you're a fan of kids' movies.
Oh, well, no, we don't even get to see kids' movies. We get to see kids' shows.
Oh, that's right. Oh, boy.
It graduates.
It does graduate to where it gets really awesome. Now I get to sit and my daughter's always like, do you want to watch Friday the 13th, the first one? I'm like, hell yes.
Oh, yeah. No, we could never do that. The girls get scared very easily, but.
She did too.
Yeah, my daughter did too. She used to get really terrified.
16 now, so it took a long time. We were cautious.
I guess that's a good age to start introducing the horrible things in life to kids and say, hey, no one's going to be like, people aren't going to be nice to you all the time. Sometimes there's going to be a guy with a fucking big knife. So
yeah, and a mask. Which would you rather have a rap battle with, William Wallace or William Shakespeare?
Shakespeare.
Do you imagine that he would have been good?
Yeah, he would have been good for sure. He was a writing motherfucker. I mean, maybe he was like more than one person, but he was forced on me in school, so I would love just to take that angst out on him in a real time battle and just clown his fucking clothes and his style of speech and just.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What would you attack him with?
Respect, dude. There's a lot of material for me to draw from, so I can turn every story of his on him. That'll be the move.
But when it was his turn, you might have to sit and pause for a couple minutes to figure out what he just said. Like,
yeah, I'll just hold my nose and I'll do a fake jerk off motion, and he won't know how to deal.
Yeah, no. Like, what is it?
How crass.
Yeah. And whose movies would you rather spend the day watching, Francis Ford Coppola or Francis James Cameron? And I mean, that's James Cameron's first name, but.
Coppola.
Yeah,
for sure. Cameron makes epics.
Yeah, did you like Avatar?
I did enjoy it because I saw it in the 3D theater, and it was visually stunning. I really was into it. I know all the criticisms for it. One of the criticisms that really sticks is that I couldn't remember any of the characters' names. They never were able to make a toy franchise out of that. So it really is just this thing that comes and goes. It doesn't have staying power the way like Star Wars does.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why do you think that is that they couldn't like monetize the toys and stuff?
It's just poor character development, and they spent way too much time with effects, and that's really what the movie was all about for enjoyment purposes. So yeah, they're lacking something, and he's trying really, really hard to push the narrative that this is an incredible series of movies now that, he's already talking about part 4 and how it's going to blow people's minds. It's like,
yeah, it takes as long as the last one, and you may never see it.
Yeah, well, they're in production for it, I guess, but it might be too little, too late at this point.
Yeah, and I think I've heard some people that saw it and didn't really. Well, I'm not here to shit
and Disney
on him,
did a great job of recreating and keeping what we felt when we saw it in the theater in 3D at Disney World. I don't know if they have it at Disneyland, but that Avatar land over there.
Yeah, have you been to to that world?
No, I did. We did go to Disney in Florida, and we saw some type of virtual.
No, but they built a whole. What do you call it, Adrian? Like a whole village. That whole village.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Oh, it's pretty.
And at night, it all glows. And
it's pretty incredible.
They did a great job.
Yeah, it feels like you're there. It's actually quite amazing. Are you in a snowblower neighborhood? Meaning,
yeah.
Does one guy snowblow the whole neighborhood, or does everyone go out and snowblow their own area?
No, there's only one. He lives across the street from me. He snowblows his own driveway, and that's that.
Oh,
and I'm out there. out there shoveling for 2 hours.
Oh shit! Yeah, we were just having this discussion this morning because a guy, our neighbor, he pretty much does the whole block, and I was saying, mansplaining. Yeah, he does everyone's sidewalks, but like. When you spend
I would do that.
Yeah, when you spend that amount of money on a snowblower, you're like, I'm going to get the use out of this thing. I'm doing everyone's.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, when I got my rider mower, I like reluctantly mowed my neighbor's lawn. I know you're not supposed to touch another man's lawn, but I was like, I knew he was allergic to grass. He hates mowing his lawn. So, and he helped me out with some stuff with my pool. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like keep riding this mower. So I just did his whole yard a couple times, and his reaction to it was not grateful enough and made me think I insulted him. So now I don't do that. But if I had a snowblower, I'd be doing that.
Is this the same neighbor who doesn't snowblow your?
No.
Okay. That is crazy, though. He does have a snowblower, and he doesn't. He just does his own. I don't know. Maybe
people
it's not.
do get offended about
He's
like,
old. He's
what does
old.
he think that I can't do this? I'm too old.
That's true. Yeah, I appreciate. I do like shoveling, but Adrian actually does most of the show.
I do all. I am the
Superintendent.
Podcast while shoveling, yo.
Have you ever had to do Santa duty in costume?
No, not at all. My dad did when I was a kid. No, my brother actually showed up to one of my last shows in Rhode Island in a full Santa outfit, thinking he was going to fool me. But no, not for me. Maybe someday. I lost a lot of weight, so I can't even pull off the. If you're fat and have a beard, you have to be Santa for the family. But
you look great, man. Looks you trimmed up.
Yeah, what are you doing?
A little bit. I mean, I lost about 50 pounds, and I'm not even totally sure how. I think it's because my wife found out that I was pre-diabetic and decided to cook differently without me noticing. So I give her a lot of credit for that. But I just started eating less too, and I know sweets do me in, so I'm starting to gain that weight back because Halloween and the holidays is always full of sugar. And I can't, it's so tough with kids around and they got all their candy and treats and you just have to sample it.
Yeah, is candy, it's like treats your vice?
I used to be an ice cream big time, so I cut down on almost all of that.
Yeah, ice cream's so hard to not
That's
eat
great.
the whole bucket.
That's great you found out you were pre-diabetic, though, because then you do have the chance to stop, right?
Yeah.
You didn't go full-blown.
No, as far as I know, but I also don't trust my doctor.
Well, my mom was pre-diabetic, and she completely changed her diet, and now she's totally in the clear for 5, 6, 7 years now.
Yeah, well, my doctor was like, "Oh, congratulations on losing the weight," and then she put a frown on her face, and she was like, "Wait, are you sick?"
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the danger when you lose a lot of weight. You get to the sick-looking weight.
Yeah, well, no, she was like, "Are you losing weight because you're being healthy, or are you losing weight because you're sick?" And then I went got myself checked for several different things. So all's good as far as I know.
Good.
Now I'm getting into the holiday mode. So it's going to be more of a holiday discussion, I guess.
Episode.
It's our holiday episode. So I also at the beginning of the episode had mentioned that people are going to be for the live stream. People are going to be utilizing it as a drinking game. So there are specific words that may come up that, not that we're trying to advocate people getting sauce, but we're trying to advocate them to stick around. Well, what do you consider to be more of a Christmas movie of these two? Rambo: First Blood or Gremlins?
Gremlins. I watched Rambo when it first came out. I can't really remember the Christmas element to it. It's been a very long time, but I distinctly remember my grandmother taking me to see Gremlins in the theater when it first came out. This is the same grandma, by the way.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was 8 years old. So we were in San Diego. I flew to San Diego by myself.
Wow.
And stayed with her for 2 weeks. And she took me to so many incredible things. And this one memory was the only kind of off. Well, there were two off moments, but we sat down in the theater. She made it maybe for 5 minutes, or like once things started getting gross, she was like, I have to leave. I can't watch this.
Oh no, she left you?
She went to the theater next door to watch Ghostbusters or one of the other movies that was out at the time. And I watched Gremlins all by myself. And so I distinctly remember the Christmas stuff going on and her coming back in when it was over. And she was like, "You really missed a good movie, you know."
That's mean. I remember that movie scared me.
It was gross. It's just a gross movie.
Yeah, was it?
They put him in the blender and
spiked.
Yeah, lots of gore.
Was it? Do you remember being like terrified, or was it just like, what the hell did I just?
No, I was fascinated. No, I was totally fascinated by it. Nothing. Okay. I don't remember being scared or incredibly grossed out. Just like, wow, wow, they can do that.
What was the? Do you happen to remember like what the best Christmas gift you've ever received? Is there anything that sticks out?
Yeah, it has to be when I got the Nintendo NES. It just, kids started getting it here and there. It wasn't too popular yet. It was tough to get. I remember a couple of kids on my hockey team had it. And when I saw it, I couldn't believe that I owned a Nintendo NES and I didn't have to go to the arcade anymore. And I could play Super Mario Brothers in my house and Duck Hunt. So that one sticks out more than a lot of other gifts that I've received, because I spent a lot of time playing Nintendo from that point on.
Do you guys have an NES now?
I do. I bought one off of eBay, and then it stopped working for some reason. I couldn't get the games to load. It became a pain in the butt. So, and I really can't do it with the 2-year-old around, because he just, he presses buttons. He'll turn everything off.
That's true. Yeah, that reset button on the NES is very touchy.
He's young enough too that you could probably just give him an unplugged remote.
But he just wants to turn the game off.
Yeah, he wants to push the button on the actual console.
Yeah, the big button.
Yeah, the big reset button.
Our son, when he was about that age, we had just gotten the PS3 or 2 or something, and they took DVD kind of discs. And he just shoved like 12 of them in there.
That was the end of that. First time I was disappointed with my son.
No, you can't own nice things with kids. You have to wait before you get the nice stuff.
How about, was there a worse present that you can think of?
No, nothing. I never thought about a gift as like being awful.
Unless it was someone being a dick, but I don't know who does that.
Yeah, no, everything's been thoughtful and appreciated. It's, I'm not I never ask for much. I'm not much for gifts. I don't like really people thinking they have to get me gifts. So I'm always grateful, but I kind of wish they didn't feel like they had to do anything for me.
Yeah,
I know it's not the best way to be, but it's just how I am.
Yeah, because I tell my wife a lot, because she doesn't ever want anyone to do anything for her. But people want to give you gifts. I feel like most people, like, they get a joy out of giving you things. I feel like the point for me. I like to see the smile on someone's face when I've given them something that they like. Who plays a better Santa, Leslie Nielsen in Santa Who or Ed Asner in Elf? Santa Who?
Who plays the best Santa? Oh yeah, Elf. I'd say Elf. Yeah.
Yeah, Ed Asner is that dude's name. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
The internet says it is.
Well, what do you believe?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's just an action movie set around the holiday season. But the holidays aren't. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Die Hard. Fuck that movie. Fuck every Die Hard movie. I don't care about those movies.
I'm with you on that.
It's definitely that way.
It missed me when it first came out. It missed me. I was not into Die Hard, and I mean. No, I don't even think I saw the sequel. I mean, yeah, the follow-up. So I only see it in bits and pieces when it was on cable. I don't have cable anymore. So, and I hate every season I have to hear about it and people have to argue about it. But let's talk about like 12 Monkeys or something.
Oh, 12 Monkeys, so great.
We watched that during 2020 and we're like, oh.
Well, I was just gonna say, here comes your next Facebook trolling. From Die Hard. Is your next Facebook beef.
Yeah, but I don't care enough about it to actually engage,
to get involved. So, What are there any kiosks in the mall that you look for? Do you go to the mall?
Yeah. We surprisingly have a kind of active mall around where we live. It looked like it was going to die for good during the pandemic, but they do a lot of cool activities like around Halloween. You could go trick-or-treating there. So you go from store to store. Oh, cool. All the kids were dressed up and parents were dressed up. The kids love getting the free samples as soon as they step inside. So they get the Chinese restaurant with the toothpicks and the meat.
Oh yeah.
It's a big to-do. Like the whole ritual of walking through the mall is exciting for the kids, and they have a great play area for the kids.
Do you have an almond cook? What do you call that? An almond cooking? What is that?
Almond sugar roasting.
Yeah.
Sugar roasted
kiosk.
Almonds?
No.
Where they do the sugar almonds.
And it smells.
No,
so
we don't
good.
have anything. We don't really have anything cool like that. We have like the the pretzel spot. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the stores are nothing to write home about.
Right.
Yeah.
it's just
mall stores.
Yeah.
But that mall, do you because that there's something nostalgic about being in a mall, and it seems like maybe malls are coming back. Maybe that's due to Stranger Things. I don't know. Curtis Blow's Christmas rapping or Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis?
Christmas in Hollis for sure. That's quintessential Run DMC. I tried memorizing it. I remember I wrote all the words down on a piece of paper, and I had taped it off the TV, so I was able to replay the tape over and over. And one time my dad saw the paper and he noticed because I didn't know a lot of stuff they were referencing. Like I didn't know what collard greens were. Mm-hmm. So I wrote college greens, and the H&R Block, I didn't know what that was. So I can't remember what I wrote, but my dad was correcting me, like saying, I don't think that's what this is. I was like, don't look at my reps, Dad. Don't even look at it. I was so embarrassed. I was mortified he would even look at this thing. Like, it's mine. It's mine. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me it's wrong. Like, I don't want to know from your old ass what my new ass is fucking exploring.
What was your...
Pardon
this is going a little
Thank
off.
God he didn't find your Two Live Crew rewrites.
Yeah. No, he did. He did.
Oh, he did.
Did I tell you that story?
No, I was just saying, like,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about how some of the stuff my kids listen to, I'm like, but then I'm going, oh, well, that's not Two Live Crew. And I, when I was listening to at their age is just as bad, worse.
No, ours was worse. Well, mine was worse. I listened to a lot of really, like, the original Ghetto Boys tape was just like, there was rape fantasies on it and like awful stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Two Live Crew is just very crude and like childishly sexual, like dumb, like the kind of things it was for me. I was that young and dumb that I found it entertaining. So
we all did.
But yeah, I don't know if it warps any parts of my brain that made me like a sexual deviant.
No.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Just because I tend to think it doesn't, but maybe. Well, shit. Yeah, that's a whole other. Because
it can. And it can, depending on when you get it, how much of it you get, and what kind of conversations you have with the people around you and your friend group and.
I feel like if you were given the knowledge, like if you had the kind of parenting going on, and I'm not trying to say it's all parenting, but if you were able to distinguish, like, oh, this is just these guys making this music. If you're able to distinguish that, maybe you get out of it better. How?
I don't know. We listened to it. I didn't think it. I was like, whoa, these are some new ideas to me, but I never thought anything of like a reality. I always just felt like it was an expression, art. I didn't think that they were actually trying to, whatever was going on in the songs. I didn't think it was.
But I
realistic.
talked that way, and I mean, I used to refer to my old girlfriend as my bitch. Like, that's awful.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Because it did normalize certain things that are not cool. I mean, even homophobia is like that just became very normalized. Something I had to break out of at a certain point in my young adulthood. But it was all like, if I wanted to be cool, I wanted to be the rap kid, and the ways to be cool is like to know what to hate sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was that. Like, if you were gay, you were not included, and you were not supposed to, be celebrated whatsoever on any level.
Is that so? Is that your feeling about it? Because I haven't really thought of it, but that makes sense. But like, the way to be cool, or one of the things that peer pressure, or like what you think the way to be cool is, like what to hate.
Well, yeah, because if you're accepting of stuff that other people are clowning on, then you're excluded from the cool kid club. And not that, you get out of wanting to be cool, hopefully, early on in life, but it hits your teens. At a certain point, you get out of your little small bubble that you grew up in and start to explore and understand life more. But this is something that I thought about after the Ali podcast that I did, when he talked about, we come from different places. Like, he's so embedded in Islam, and that frames how he goes about this his music and operates in this world. And for me, hip hop was a great escape from religion and from conservatism, and to speak like a clown, and I don't feel like it should be dishonored. You should feel dishonored because you speak in a dishonorable way. I think it was freeing, and I think if you explore your freedom, there's great power in that, and there's a great opportunity for you to sort of get out all the stuff that was suppressed throughout your life and shake it out and feel your way and not stay like that, but it has its place. It definitely has its place in a person's life where you should say things that you're not allowed to say around your family and feel comfortable in doing so and have fun with it. Like I guess that was my party. I wasn't a party dude. I didn't go out and do drugs. I didn't find I didn't do anything that was like wild outside of speaking wildly and like playing with language in a way that was, I wouldn't want to show my grandma. I wouldn't want to show people that I actually like knew and had relationships with. I wanted to create my own world where this was acceptable and enjoyed by other people who were as quote unquote fucked up as me.
Right. Yeah, that makes plenty of sense too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how you even get growth. Because if everything's, well, I don't need to top on that.
That's interesting. I just want to go back real quick. I never picked up on any homophobia, any of that stuff. And now re-listening, I can hear it on some things, but I never picked up on a lot of that stuff.
No, yeah. Well, when I listen back now, it's everywhere, and I didn't notice it at the time because it was so normal. That it's so normal, it just doesn't stick out. It just flies right by and on to the next thing. And then when I listen back to all these albums that are classics that I really loved as a youth, I'm like, that did not age well. Like this comment did not age well.
Sure.
Some of the best hip hop songs have some really bad.
Yeah, you hear it now.
Yeah, and how do we navigate that now? Like how? Because I'll hear it and I'm like, but I'm still enjoying the music. It doesn't have to be so deep that we can't enjoy it still, right? Or I don't know. How do we?
No, I don't know. I mean, for instance, like Tame One just passed away, rest in peace. He was in the Artifacts, and they have one of the most classic 90s hip-hop tracks, Wrong Side of the Tracks. In fact, I performed with them. That was the first professional group I got to share a stage with when I was like 16 years old, and I won a contest, and I did, I got to do one or two songs before they went on stage. A very big moment for me, and I still have the headshot photo with their signature and a marker that says Artifacts on it with their graffiti hand style writing.
Awesome.
But even on that song, Wrong Side of the Tracks, there's like 2 homophobic comments on it that like you really want to play the song and enjoy it, but I'm not trying to play it too loud.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what the move is.
Yeah, and it's nothing egregious, and it's not actively gay bashing. It's just the general acceptance that gays are bad.
Yeah. And then I don't know how we.
I think I feel like I saw the Artifacts at Warped Tour.
Oh, maybe you're thinking of the Alcoholics.
I definitely saw the Alcoholics.
Yeah, that would be definitely them more than the Artifacts.
Okay.
Do you have? I had mentioned before to you. I don't know if you had the time to figure it out, but do you have top 3 best rap Christmas songs?
Yeah. And you mentioned one already. The Christmas in Hollis is my favorite. Santa's Rap by the Treacherous 3.
So great.
Featuring Dougie Fresh and Beat Street. So is Beat Street a Christmas movie?
Oh, I never thought of it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, you know what? No, I would have never.
Just because Christmas has a part of it,
you're
doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck you, Die Hard.
Doesn't Hot Head Need Cool Water?
Does
that take place during
Dragon.
Christmas too?
No.
Oh.
Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, but that does
yeah.
not take place during Christmas.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
Oh,
movie.
and the third, because there's not almost every Christmas song in hip hop is really corny. Like even those border on corny, but I just love them so much, and I have both of them memorized.
Me too.
The one we wanted our take on Christmas, so War on Christmas by the Epic Beard Men.
For too long we ignored Fox's rhetoric,
Small talk with double spit, horns locking, heads will split for the hell of it. From the shopping malls of Sioux Falls to the Walmarts of Connecticut, to all boardwalks, war hogs of all sorts get desperate. The mom and pop shops are off limits, while the poor cops some better shit. Word to God, jar in the law, they better be giving these mall cops some benefits. While the stores slash their prices, watch this sword chopping elephant, leaving your stocking as desolate as a Hallmark sentiment. Fuck a sword order at the call box with a medical kit, but it still isn't against the law to pop a metal clip. Believe that shit. I'm catching a second wind. Want me to call off the rest of the hit? Meet our demand. Meet all our fans. This ain't a goddamn war on Christmas. It's ridiculous. It's just a day when it.
The War on Christmas, which has the Christmas theme throughout, and has the sleigh bells and everything, and we just go to town on Christmas, and we wreak havoc on Christmas Town.
That's going on our playlist, our Christmas playlist.
I love that. I think that's one of our best songs. Has epic beard, and War on Christmas is really fun. I wish we had a budget to do the video because it's a lot of violence.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And explosions and fire.
I always thought I just read things wrong, and I always thought you guys were epic bearded men.
We are.
So, in my head, you still are. But when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the right way to say it.
Well, every time someone has a different name for us like that, it's always better. So,
is that something that you would go back and make a video for? I mean,
no. I think it would just cost too much money to do it.
Listen, I'm down to invest into a Christmas music video.
I mean, if I'm going to spend money and time, I probably wouldn't go back and try to
do it.
Revive a Epic Beard Men project. But I mean, I'm still going to rep it till the day I die.
Well, do you have a favorite traditional holiday song?
Like all the holiday songs are Christmas for me, I guess. I like that there's creepy ones. I like this creepy Christmas stuff. I got a Christmas playlist that I'm gonna try to bust out.
Creepy, like that one that you can't hear anymore that everyone took off the playlists.
Which one?
Baby, It's Cold Outside. That kind of creepy, or like
yeah. Oh, I like Santa Baby.
Santa baby. Yeah, that's a good one. I always try to sing a song and then it's the wrong tune.
But you get me tonight. All right. It's really sexual. It's the Two Life Crew of Christmas carols.
Adrian, you said that song, what did that song get canceled or something?
Yeah. I think it kind of did.
Yeah, it did.
Oh,
there was a lot of talk about it like last year or the year before, and people were like, this guy's gaslighting this woman right now.
Oh.
He's really forcing his way into her personal space.
What are the lyrics of it? What does he say? We sang that. Me and Adrian sang that at a talent show.
I think that's my favorite Christmas song.
Yeah, remember when we sang it at the talent show?
Yeah, we changed the lyrics, but she's like, "Hey, I gotta go," and he was like, "No. Here,
is that what?
Keep drinking, stay."
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's flirtatious.
He was just
more
spitting
than
game. He was just spitting game.
These poor kids these days.
What about? Do you have a favorite 3 holiday movies? Because I know Die Hard's not one of them.
Because it's not a Christmas movie, but
but it's your favorite action movie. I'm just kidding.
MacGruber. MacGruber's my favorite action movie.
Oh yeah, that's a Saturday Night Live MacGyver.
And the movie has no right being as good as it is, considering its origin.
Yeah, I guess I got to go back and watch.
It's I've watched it over 50 times. I've shown it to every friend who visited my house, and they always go in skeptical, and by the end of it, they're like, "Holy shit, that was awesome!"
We're gonna have to watch it. I've never
seen
it.
Really good. For Christmas movies, I gotta shout out A Christmas Story. It's just something that's, they play it for 24 hours straight on Christmas Eve, so I'm always watching it on Christmas Eve, and I just love the story. I love this. You can catch any scene throughout the movie, and it's funny or it's interesting, and you don't have to watch the whole thing for it to enjoy A Christmas Story. That's a very basic take, I know, but
I love it.
It's my favorite.
Elf is one of my top 3 Christmas movies. I actually saw that in the theater with Slug at the Providence Place Mall. I think he was touring at the time, and he had a night off, and we just went and watched Elf and had a great time.
That's cool.
And that remains funny to me. And even though the Will Ferrell antics, they grind on you after a while, but he was in a sweet spot when Elf came out. It kind of was like, It was the way it worked really well for that movie, and maybe got tiresome later on. But he nailed it on Elf.
I agree.
And I'm going to shout out Nightmare Before Christmas because I like how, like I said, Halloween is seeping into Christmas spookiness, and the fact that we watched it so much during October. My son needs to play things on repeat, and thankfully it was the Nightmare Before Christmas, and that was the first time I watched that movie. And I really couldn't believe how good it was, how well written, everything about it really blew my mind. And
did you say that was the first time you saw it?
Yeah, I never saw it. I always saw the characters.
Right.
I was inundated with the imagery everywhere. I kind of felt like I had seen it, but I didn't. I never really watched it from, front to back and back to front the way I have now.
The music's so cool in it too. Yeah.
It is. It's really catchy.
Movie.
It's got proper spookiness to it. The characters are all ill. It's so well done.
Yeah, awesome. Those are great choices. And now you watched it how many times now since the first time you've seen it?
I get it, probably more than 50 times.
It's right up there with MacGruber.
Yep. MacGruber, Nightmare Before Christmas, Ninja 3, The Domination, and The Last Temptation of Christ. Those are all the 5 movies I've probably watched the most.
What you said, Ninja 3? Is that the little kid? Oh, no, that's
that's Sho
yeah,
Kosugi. Ninja 3, The Domination is like a mix of The Exorcist and ninjas and 80s aerobics. And The Girl from Breakin' is in it. That was one of her first movies.
Lucinda Dickey.
Lucinda, yes,
yeah,
that's it. I had a crush on her. So I got all her movies. She didn't have many, but I did collect all the DVDs. Lucinda Dickey.
Oh, and the guy from Big Trouble Little China is in there too.
Kurt Russell?
James
No, the
Hong.
old guy.
No,
yeah,
Hong.
he was in everything.
Hong.
Yeah.
He
the
was
big,
like the Exorcist.
Yeah.
We'll have to go watch all these.
Yeah, I was thinking of Little Ninjas or something for some reason. I don't know. Real tree or fake tree?
Unfortunately, real tree, and it's part of our tradition. In New England, it's pretty much always like a family tradition to go get your tree. We don't cut it down ourselves, but there was a tree farm next to where we live in a residential area, and they had like a whole to-do. It was like free hot cocoa and donuts, and you go pick your tree, you tie it to the top of your vehicle, drive it home, lug it up the stairs, get it into its little thing, get the water in it, decorate the tree. It was like probably this year was my funnest tree ceremony ever.
Yeah,
I like the real trees.
I do. Yeah, you said unfortunately. Why unfortunately?
Yeah, because I would love to just not have to pay a lot of money and not worry about the tree and not make a mess with the tree and not have to kill a tree, and just I'd be fine with a plastic tree that looks realistic.
You are supporting tree farmers. So you're supporting the growth of new trees, and the plastic tree doesn't really biodegrade.
That's what when we did it, I produced a TV show many years ago, and we on our holiday episode we did a thing on real trees or fake trees, and they discovered actually that the fake trees are worse for the environment because once people use them for like 5 years, but then they throw them away. Those trees don't biodegrade. So it's more wasteful.
Just like everything else surrounding Christmas, it's all plastic.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, especially when you have little kids.
Yeah,
it's all plastic packaging.
10 times the size of the thing that comes.
Infuriating. It's infuriating. Like we have to buckle down on this industry, this plastic packaging industry. They're out of hand.
Even on the vegetables, you can't buy mushrooms. You can't buy. Really, you can't buy anything that's not in plastic.
In plastic, yeah.
It's constant. It's on everything. So at some point we got to address this.
Yes.
But
that's the oil industry.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah. It is the oil industry.
So
they got their hands in pockets.
If we're getting rid of oil-fed cars, gas-fed cars, well, they're going to keep producing and probably put it into, they're making.
Well, it's also because cheaper. Like the plastic is cheaper to make. It's lighter to ship, and it just is. It's all about the corporation's bottom line. So it doesn't matter if it fucks with the environment. If they're making more money every year, they're going to keep using it. So that's one of the only reasons like a government should exist, because it has to look out for the people. Exactly. Like people hate regulations on industries. I understand that, like governments reaching out where they shouldn't be. But this is one of the things where they should, where they should have those hands in other people's business. Like, no, I don't care that you're making so much money. You're fucking up our world. And, you know, it has to be addressed at some point, and you're clearly not going to take care of this yourself.
Yeah. I mean, that's what regulation is for, to protect, because corporations will take advantage of everybody. The money rules, and if we don't have any regulation, oh Jesus!
Let's not get into that. Christmas.
Yeah. So your annual watch holiday movie would probably be The Christmas Story.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, but now we switched from Nightmare Before Christmas, and now we have the Grinch on loop in the household.
Which one?
So. The newest one, which is like, it's not animated, it's computer animation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he's really digging that, and he was spooked out by the Grinch at first. Like we have a wooden Grinch that stands about 3 feet tall. That he's in a Santa outfit, so we put it next to the tree, and it took like a day for him to get comfortable being around the Grinch. So that's when we introduced him to the movie. So now he's much more familiar, and like, the Grinch is his pal now.
Right.
It's good. Yeah.
And the girls are older, right?
Yeah, 6 and 8.
Yeah. Okay.
How about just another Sophie's choice? Better Santa, Tim Allen or Kurt Russell?
What did Kurt Russell play the Santa in?
Oh, it's new. It's pretty new. You wouldn't have. Maybe your older kids would like it. It's called The Claws.
The Claws.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
I'm gonna pick that, even though I didn't see it. I picked that one.
Yeah, he's actually kind of cool in it.
I think it was pretty good. I think this is the one with Goldie Hawn too, right?
Yes.
And
yeah. Goldie Hawn is Mrs. Claus. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's decent.
Are they still married?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they've got like 50
I'll take
years.
that over Tim Allen any day. I don't need more Tim Allen.
Do you like to attend parties or for New Year's Eve, or do you like to do New Year's Eve at home?
I can't even remember attending a party for New Year's Eve.
Did you used to play on did you ever play shows on New Year's
I played
Eve?
New Year's Eve. The last time I played New Year's Eve was in Colorado. Where's the mountain town in Colorado?
Boulder?
No, more mountainous. You have to it's like treacherous travels to get to the spot.
Oh, Aspen?
Grand Junction.
That's pretty much by us. I mean,
yeah, so I played there with Wheelchair Sports Camp on Christmas Eve in 2018, maybe.
Wait, on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve?
Oh, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So no, it's always my wife, and we're like, me and my wife, the kids want to stay up, and it's the only day of the year that we let them try to stay up till midnight. And one of them actually made it last year, so that was cool, but I don't particularly like grinding it out with kids and watching like the waiting for the ball to drive. Is like none of that.
Yeah, you guys are on the East Coast, so you have to watch it. Us here sometimes will, like, now that a lot of us are older, we'll watch the
3-hour
feed, your
early
feed.
one.
Yeah, we'll watch
that's cheating.
Yeah, it is. That movie, by the way, with Goldie Hawn and her husband, what was his name, is called
Kurt Russell.
The Christmas Chronicles.
Oh yeah, the Christmas Chronicles. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's your kids. Well, yeah, the girls might like it. If you could invite anyone alive or dead to your Christmas dinner, this is one of those questions. But is there anybody that you'd like to have to your Christmas dinner?
Obviously, Jesus Christ.
That would be a hell of a discussion.
What's going on there?
Obviously, Jesus Christ. And I'll be like, hey, look what they did. They think it's your birthday. Isn't that funny?
Wasn't he born in March?
I think so.
I think it was the summer. Whatever it was, it wasn't the pagan holiday that was stolen.
Did you happen to watch the movie Spirited yet? Oh, because you said the Will Ferrell thing is tough to do.
So what's Spirited?
It's Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, and it's like it's the Dickens story.
Skip it.
No.
People love it, but it's like a show tunes musical. It's pretty tough to watch.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching a musical. I can't even watch Hamilton. Like, I'm not watching a musical.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
Do you not enjoy Hamilton?
I did not enjoy Hamilton. I couldn't make it past the first 5 minutes. I hated it. I can't stand musicals. I don't like them. There must be exceptions, but even that, because I was like, I'll go in. I went in with an open mind because my brother is a huge fan, and like he has all the tunes memorized, and he plays them on the piano. And I was like, all right, I respect my brother's taste, and he's a musical genius, and he's really into this, so I'm going to check it out. I was like, I can't do it. I don't get it. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't like how people keep telling me that it reminds them of me, like the style of writing that goes on.
That's obnoxious.
So yeah, I'm like, great. Like I know that dude must have definitely listened to me. And he got bullied by Immortal Technique in high school, and like that was around the era where I was coming up to. But no, it doesn't do it for me. I hear him on other.
Wait, did he
well.
actually get bullied, or are you just saying that?
Yeah, he told that story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Boy, and if anyone to get bullied by Immortal Technique.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, is Nightmare Before Christmas considered a musical?
I guess you're right. I was like thinking there must be an exception. That one fits the bill. It is a musical. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I don't care for musicals, but I really like Romeo and Juliet, and I really like Moulin Rouge, and both of them are musicals. But the music's kind of cool. It's not show tunes. I don't like show tunes. But it's not musicals.
They almost don't ever speak.
Oh, okay.
It's all
singing,
music.
Talk. Yeah, no thanks. Will this Christmas be the first time your son experiences has a recognition of this is Christmas holiday?
Yeah. I mean, he's just learned how to say Christmas. It's tough for him to say. It's very cute. Like he doesn't know how to do it. But he's pointing out the Christmas trees. He's pointing out the Christmas lights. He's very fascinated by it all. He knows this Christmas thing is a thing that has its own energy and its own time. And I don't think he'll remember it, but it's the first time he's recognizing it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's when it starts to get fun. Let me hit you. Here's a useless fact, since that's one of the new things we put on the show. Here's a useless fact. It's a holiday. In Japan, it's a tradition to eat KFC for Christmas, so you got to put in orders 2 months in advance.
Oh, gee.
I know.
I was in Japan for Christmas.
Oh, wow. Did you have KFC?
No, I couldn't find. I mean, my partner at the time was traveling with me, touring with me. She was doing projections. Mm-hmm. She's done a lot of our artwork. She does our website. She can't stand spicy foods. And her palate. She's from Croatia, and she doesn't really explore too much outside of what she's familiar with. So we had to search for something that was kind of familiar, and we found a Pizza Hut.
What was that pizza like?
Not good. It was not good. It was it was weird. It was not, because they don't do cheese stuff in Japan. They don't do gooey cheese in most of their dishes. So it was not a regular kind of pizza. But I mean,
oh, that's tough. Know. Trying to find something to eat that gets in Japan.
Yeah, and we also went to Korea. That was even worse for her because she doesn't do spicy.
Oh, God.
But yeah, no, in Korea they treat Christmas like Valentine's Day, so we found that really fascinating. It was all these hearts everywhere, and it was a big holiday for couples.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, don't they in the Philippines? I think they start celebrating Christmas in August.
I think September.
In September, and it goes all the way through, all the way up to Christmas, right? Yeah,
too much.
It is too much,
and they're all the way in on it. And I'll do one other quick fact too. Paul McCartney earns $400,000 a year from his wonderful Christmas time song, which is widely considered as his worst song ever.
Which one is that?
Wonderful Christmas Time.
Yeah.
It's a Paul McCartney song.
Sing it for me. I can't think.
I don't know.
It's got really cheesy music, right?
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's electronic. It's got a weird synth going on in it. It sounds super simplistic.
I'll look it up.
I mean, geez, though, that
400 million,
400,000 he makes about a year just on that
just from
song.
It being played on TV and radio.
Yep, and it only played one time of the year. Yeah. And then
maybe that's all coming from the Philippines because they start playing it in September.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Mariah Carey makes something like $4 million a year or something from hers.
That's all she's known for the kids now is her Christmas music.
If you, that's true. She wanted to be named Mrs. Christmas or something. She tried to
Christmas Queen.
Christmas Queen. The Queen of Christmas. She tried to copyright it, but she couldn't because someone else already did trademarked it. We do have a question that we got to go to.
Listen to more of this.
Well, Sagent Franosaurus. Good to see you, old friend, even though I can't. I was thinking back on when we toured together. I distinctively remember talking to three of you. Zolzan Fucktaculus, Saggy Franks, and of course Wallace Turd. And I decided that after the winter breaks, I'm going to take Saggy Franks out on tour with me. But you can only pick one of these three items I'm going to list to take on tour with you to add to your tour comfort and or disdain. That's kind of up to you. So pick from these three items and then please explain why you picked said item. 1, plastic bag containing your horribly aged shaved beard from a Scribble Jam long ago. 2, your orange jumpsuit. It's never been washed and rode in a cardboard box under a fart seat in a stank van on tour. Or 3, a tub of off-brand religious doctrine that you accumulated in your travels in airports, cab stands, restaurants, little hippie towns we visited. I hope one of those three items brings you joy on this next tour, my friend. The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Until next time, Saggy Franks, I love you. Tell Wallace Turd to clean up his mess. Purse.
All right. Nice to hear from you, Fat Brad. I miss you too, and I love you too. I'm taking my beard back. I don't like that he saved my beard all these years.
Oh, wait. Did he actually?
Yeah. I shaved it off in his apartment or his house in 2001 after the Scribble Jam battle. We were all chilling at his spot, and I just wanted to shave a big mutton chop mustache. And so I had a big beard at the time, so I just took off the bottom of the beard, and I guess he saved it. And I believe that he did because he's been telling me the same thing all this time since back then.
Oh my God!
I want it back. It was before the grays even hit, so like I could use that. Even I could use it as a wig. I could use it as a beard supplement. There's a lot of uses I could have for that, and I don't think he's doing anything except for trying to extract my DNA and create Zolzan clones so that he can create another Scribble Jam era. So I don't trust it.
Oh my God, that is exactly what he's doing with it. He's going to extract DNA from it.
Careful what you look for, Brad.
Yeah.
Was there an orange jumpsuit?
I don't remember the orange jumpsuit. I've had many jumpsuits though. Definitely, maybe it started off white and then turned orange with time.
Yeah, Adrian often points out she's very intrigued with Brad's memory. Like it seems like he just remembers everything.
Yeah, but he misremembers a lot.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe his creative mind thinks up some things that probably didn't happen.
He fills in a lot of gaps with some creative memories.
All right, okay. That timer went off. If you don't mind, maybe just a few more minutes, so I can get a little bit of shading in here, and then I'll obviously finish that later. But there are a few other things.
I'm loving it.
That you mentioned that your son was loving Curious George, but then now this horrible show. What's
Cocomelon.
Oh yeah,
Cocomelon. I think every parent these days has to go through the Cocomelon phase. What makes it so frustrating is, it's what the kids like because it's the repetition. It's their creepy computer animated faces. The adults at least look creepy, but the writing of the songs drives me nuts.
Yeah,
because they're singing all the time, and it's like they'll be like, "Then we do this now. I really like it. Wow!" And it's like everything's wow or oh. It's like whoever was writing this show was the laziest piece of shit, not understanding that you could have made better rhymes. The kids still would enjoy it. If they're looking for some freelance work,
Are you in the market?
Because you are affecting my life. You are affecting and infecting a lot of adult people's lives because they have children who are just drawn to this goddamn cartoon or whatever you call it. But yeah, it's upsetting because Curious George came before Cocomelon, and Curious George is beautifully animated with great storylines, hardly any singing, except the fucking theme song slaps. It's like a jazz, like everyone know what's around the bend. Curious George, swing. It's like no matter how many times I hear it, I'm like, yeah, I've got my head nodding. I'm like, this is dope. This is dope.
Is this other one? Is this other new one that he likes PBS? Or
no,
is
it's
that
on
Disney?
Netflix.
Oh, Netflix.
Oh, that's why.
PBS.
Yeah, I don't know if I've told the story before, but a friend of mine, he's Jake, he's passed away, so R.I.P. Jake, but his kids, when his kids were just kind of learning how to talk, they all of a sudden got hooked on the Teletubbies. And he fucking hated it because they stopped using real words. His son, it was his son, and his son stopped using real words and was saying that binky boom boom, just bullshit. But he couldn't pull him from it
because they never actually said anything on Teletubbies.
No,
did they?
They just did the boonky pinky pumpy.
They kind of
baby talk. I liked it for the like how creepy and weird it was. So I tried to introduce it, and my son did like it. Like he was kind of fascinated by it, but it didn't take hold, thankfully, because you're right. That's an issue. Like, I don't want him going to baby talk.
Yeah.
I don't like anyone who baby talks to him. Like, say the words the way they're supposed to be said.
Yeah. How are they going to learn from
an
baby
interesting kind of off-topic thing, but about that Teletubbies, it was filmed in the UK, I think the UK somewhere, and the hill that it was filmed on had so many tourists that they flooded it, and it's now like a pond, a lake.
Oh, they flooded it out on
whoever
purpose.
owned that property, because they had so many people flocking to this spot, this hill, that they totally just flooded it out and got rid of it.
Did you guys ever watch, what was the one that we loved, the tongue and the...
Oh, you should introduce this to your kid. It's cool. With DJ Lance Rock.
Yeah, DJ Lance Rock.
Oh, shit. Why is it?
Damn it.
Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh, yeah. Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's a fun
My
one.
girls were watching Yo Gabba Gabba. My son hasn't yet, but he'll like that. Because
he'll like that.
He's starting to get into dancing, too. Like, he's starting to understand what dancing is.
Yeah.
So anytime he sees someone dancing, he tries to replicate it. That's a great thing.
Yeah, it's a cool show. For Christmas gifts, Amazon or Etsy?
Unfortunately for me, it's been Amazon. I don't want to promote them. I don't, and people can shit on me all they want. I know it's not great, but it's the convenience that it's providing me. My sister's on Etsy, so she has great artwork. She has.
Do you want to promote her?
Yeah. What's Offbeat Boutique. Her name is on Instagram. It's at Offbeat Boutique, and I think that might be the name she uses on Etsy as well. And I have purchased stuff off of Etsy, just not as frequently as I purchase stuff on Amazon for general needs.
Right.
Yeah, I know. We're human. Some things you gotta you gotta do. All right, and then I have a trivia question, and this trip for you, since it's the holiday one, I'll give you the choices of the topic. So here are the choices: Hanukkah, New Year's Eve, Kwanzaa, Christmas, or Thanksgiving. Which would you prefer your trivia question to be in?
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
What popular Christmas song was actually originally written for Thanksgiving? Very popular.
It has maybe something about food. Is it something about food?
No.
Is it something about over rivers and through woods?
Dreaming of a White Christmas?
No. Do you want another guess? Or you want me to just tell you the answer?
Tell me. I don't know.
It's Jingle Bells.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And do you enjoy eggnog?
I do like eggnog.
Yeah.
No, almost no one else I know likes eggnog.
You're kidding.
And I can't drink a lot of it. Like one glass, I'm good. It is a nostalgic thing for me. And in New England, I think we have like spots that have like incredibly good eggnog. It's not from this like regular stuff you get from the store. There's other spots that make it. It's really, But the thing now, like, I think the more I think about it, the less I enjoy eggnog. Like, I'm not totally in love with knowing how the sausage is made and actually tasting egg in it.
Yeah. When you start
as a
thinking
kid,
about
I didn't
it.
differentiate and I didn't make sense of that. But now I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
But,
they do
yeah.
make a really good oat milk eggnog if you want to get your head out of
Oh,
it.
yeah? Oh, yeah, I'll give that a shot. That
Yeah,
must be very high.
It's not the
in,
same.
high in sugar.
Yeah, it's not the same, but
Well, yeah, so sugar cookies or gingerbread cookies.
Gingerbread cookies.
Oh.
I dig those.
Oh.
Because they're like sugar cookies happen all year round, I think, but gingerbread we reserve for just a certain time of year, so that adds to the nostalgic effect of the holiday season.
Well, before I do this, philosophical ending question, I wanted to ask you: do you know the names of the 7 sages of ancient Greece?
Whoa.
Grumpy, droopy, coward.
Sleepy.
That's all I can remember.
We were pretty close.
7 sages of Greece?
Of ancient Greece, yeah, the 7,
No, I don't-
basically the 7 wise men of ancient Greece.
I never heard
It's
of it.
Bias, Chelon, Cleobulus, Periander, Pittacus, Solon, and Thales. There you go.
And they
Oh, Solange got in there. Shout out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so before we do some promotions on stuff, we'll do the philosophical. That's how we end every episode. What does make an occasion festive? What makes something a holiday? On what grounds does a specific event become an occasion of our festival and celebration?
Just the classics, I would say, is food and music and gathering under any circumstance. And perhaps a particular styles of music and styles of food for a certain festivity. And that's it. That's about it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it wasn't really that. I had found it interesting because I think
we always need reasons to just get together and have fun and enjoy one another. So you look for little excuses like, oh, this happened on that day. Let's all get together and celebrate it. But really, we're just trying to enjoy one another and have a reason for the holiday off, like from work. So everyone gets off work at the same time. You know, you have the same days off, so you can all gather and be together.
And that would it would suggest that a majority of us do, even though there are struggles in life, life is good. Or it's better, like we enjoy life.
And it's often made better with each other.
Yeah.
You know, so we get together.
It's a good reminder to have that because we're separated so frequently. We're spread far apart. You know, we're all disconnected from one another. And these festivities and these reasons to get together are some of the only times people like me actually get to be in a group of people that I know and love. Outside of my immediate household. So before I honestly couldn't care less. I remember what it was like to really not care. And I still don't super care. I mainly just want to be with my family. But if there's a reason that people are getting together and they're my friends and people I love, hell yeah, let's get it on and let's make a reason to keep doing it.
Yeah. Are you edging towards considering that you might need to go back out on the road again or do some touring, or is that still something that's way back for a bit?
It's not way back. It's definitely crawling its way to the front of my conscience. And I am considering shows. Like a couple people reached out and it was just out of the blue. And I, asked them what they would pay. I was like, sometimes it's really going to boil down to what you're offering me in the deal, and nobody got back to me. And that's fine with me. I mean, if I was really grinding it out, I would send them an offer and then we'd barter and whatever. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. I haven't done that for a while. So yeah, I mean, the time's going to come. I already have one show booked for Denver on June 17th, which will be a free show to the public in an outdoor amphitheater. but it's I can't really give too much info yet because
okay.
I haven't I have to still put together the lineup, but it's going to be a Strange Famous affair, like all the Strange Famous artists that I can get, that I can afford to bring.
Yeah,
because it is free to the public, but they're all still like, we're going to make money in other ways. So I'm figuring all that out now. So the fact that I know that's about 6 months away, I have to start getting into physical shape enough where I can perform, because it's like a lot of breath control and
Sure.
the stage nerves really grind on me. Travel nerves grind on me, and I'm way out of the type of shape I need to be in for that to go smoothly without me putting in some concerted effort. So if I'm going to put in all the effort to make that go, I'd want to follow it up with other shows that can be lucrative and come home with enough money where I don't have to worry for the rest of the year. So we'll see what happens with that. The main goal really is just to celebrate our label and all the artists the new wave of artists who've just been like popping off left and right with material, to the point where we're going to have a congested release schedule in 2023. That Storm and I, like Storm Davis, the guy who helps run Strange Famous with me, I don't think he's aware, because I work very close with all of the artists when it comes to album development. And I don't think he really knows how many albums are going to be ready to go live in 2023.
Oh, but for a fan, that's exciting because 2023 is going to be a big, huge output from SFR.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm excited about it. I'm also scared about it. So we have to, and since we're like in the middle of the holiday craziness, it's not like we can really make sense of it at the moment.
Right.
And I don't want to infect Storm's brain because he's doing so much stuff outside of that. I'm just worrying about it myself until I can make him worry about it.
Yeah.
Will he take on some of that worry once you're able to dump a little bit of that, or do you not like to do that?
No, I don't like to do it, but he's so instrumental in how our releases happen with the promo campaigns. He helps with art. He's like, he wears so many hats that he has to be deeply involved. So I don't like involving him until the moment I know where he's needed, and then he's like embedded into the project in ways I don't really know how to do myself. Or, he works directly with the distributors and sets up release schedules and artwork and merch. So he works directly with the guy who prints all our merch, and he helps design a lot of the merch. He does so much stuff. So yeah, so I do a lot of the as artists are developing the album, I'm always the one to be with them through that process and try to steer it into the best direction possible and make it as quality as possible. And then he does everything else after I have what I think is like the best version of what that artist's vision was coming in. And there's a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, you guys got such a great lineup. When you said, I know you haven't completely, you can't really announce like anything particular, but is that date locked? Do you have that date? Is that pretty much a
the date is locked? Yeah, we signed the contract and it's
What's
on.
that date again? June
17th. I may have it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's June 17th.
I'm pretty sure I know where we're going to be on June 17th
we don't
in
ever
Denver.
know. We know calm
now.
down over there.
We know now.
Yeah, it's a
Saturday.
Saturday, June 17th.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where we're going to be.
Don't you look at me like that. We got some interesting schedules ourselves.
I know, but
yes, I would love to go.
Far.
I was just thinking, wow, we've never seen you live, and that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like I grew up with you.
Like we could make you part of the show if you want.
Well, we do have some interesting things coming up in our own life, so.
But that's something we can lock in.
We might not be able to, but.
No one's waiting on us for it, but.
No, I know. I'm just saying for you, calm down over there because we have a big thing to help out with in family.
One day we can slip away, and that. But you're possibly thinking maybe you could. That could be like if you're already out west or Mountain West, you could move it to like some other. Not move it, but like do a few of them.
At least do some solo one-offs so I actually make money.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to probably won't be making like it's not to make profit. This show, even though the only reason I'd ever want to do a show is so I can make money for the, to pay bills. But this is, for some reason, this feels like a special occasion that maybe we can repeat every year, or maybe multiple times a year in various cities. So if it goes off well, I'm just going to invest my time and energy into it now and see if we can make it a thing that sticks and that other cities want to get in on. Because it could turn into kind of like a festival of sorts.
Yeah.
Look at us having a festival.
I know.
Oh, cool.
Festive.
You just you got the music, you just need to get the food, right? That was what you said you needed for a festivity. Was food and music.
And it's good.
So we get some grilled cheese sandwiches going and call it a holiday.
Yeah.
Well, I know that I said we do some promotion stuff. What else should we promote?
I don't want to promote anything in particular outside of the fact that we're offering holiday sale packages. Like we combine a lot of items into and they're very cheap when you consider all the stuff that's included. But I don't want to push that, because if people are looking to get stuff before Christmas, you probably won't get it in time for Christmas. So
will this go on after, when people get their Christmas money? Because a lot of people get gift cards and Christmas money.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll see. Because after Christmas, I do want to unleash the personal journals items that are not vinyl, but they're very unique. And in fact, there was a guy called Qfetti who did 100 paintings of the personal journals cover, and he did it in all different types of styles.
Oh, cool.
That we numbered and signed, and that is very unique and cool. And that's going to be a big campaign. Like maybe it'll take a day to sell them all. Maybe it'll take a year. I have no idea like what our market is like for people trying to collect artwork of that sort. But he put in a lot of time and effort to make that a thing, and I look forward to him seeing the rewards of that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
If not anything else, recognition, because he's a single dad. He's actually living in Colorado, and he just paints for the pure joy of it, and he works a full-time job. But there's a lot of stuff. I just want people to know that if they stay in tune to our social media and check out our website from time to time, strangefamousrecords.com, there will be tons of announcements. There will be a podcast. There's going to be a lot of releases that I think people, when they hear more and more of the stuff coming out, they'll get an idea of what I would consider be a new identity for Strange Famous in a new world, and how releases happen and how frequently they happen, and artists who are purposely, or they're thrilled by the creative aspect of it, and they don't care so much about the industry side of things. Sure. So that informs how they make their albums now and how we release their albums. And any little bit of support that we get is always greatly appreciated, because we notice it. We're very much in the trenches, and anytime someone shows love or retweets something or posts about us somewhere, we see it and we love it and we want more of it.
Yeah, it helps spread the word of it. And so the social media stuff on Strange Famous. There's an Instagram page, there's a Twitter, and then Sage Francis. You have all your social medias, and then all the other artists on their lineup have their own sort of places.
Yeah,
that's good.
And most of them aren't really heavy with the social media.
Yeah,
like I said, they honestly don't care too much about the industry side of things, so they slack a lot in ways that 10 years ago I would have choked them the fuck out,
right?
And I would have like banged on the ceiling. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is a fucking business. Like, that's not really how we roll right now. And I'm thankful for it, because my blood pressure was a problem.
Oh. Oh shit! Yeah, damn.
Like, no one wants to really tour with me.
Well, because
except for Dolan.
Are you a perfectionist?
No, I'm not a perfectionist.
Okay. But you want it right.
I could easily call myself that, and I think about it all the times. I'm more than comfortable just letting things be the way they are, and I leave a lot of things to chance. My whole career, I'm like, this beat came to me at this time because I was just thinking of this song, so I got to write the song now. The demo has a couple flaws on it, but overall I think it captures the spirit, so we're going with it.
Right.
And that's how I roll. I'm not a perfectionist, but I push in various ways that I think stresses other people out, or can.
Well,
But that's why you are.
That's why you're
where you are, and you have all these people under you, because you're not just sitting around.
You're a good leader. The one last question: What did anything surprise you in 2022? What was the most surprising thing in 2022 for you? Since I didn't really do any New Year's things, but
shit, I didn't even see him. I didn't see a brand. I didn't go to the theater at all in 2022. Hardly listened to any music outside of Strange Famous. I guess it's a good question. No, nothing surprised me.
Okay.
Except for my lack of output.
That's how I'm kind of feeling right now. That I was going to. The only thing, or one of the things that surprised me, and maybe because it's so fresh, was the whole thing that's happening with Elon Musk and the Twitter, like that. I don't know.
That's true.
That kind of I was like, wow, who saw that coming? And I don't know. Maybe we've been talking. Maybe it feels like there's this come to roost with social media. It seems like almost people are starting to realize oh, this isn't. There's nothing real about this. It's not social at all. Yeah. And so it seemed like people were getting together more or something. I don't know. That could have been pandemic related as well. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we could be seeing the death of one of the most popular social media platforms or just a transition.
True.
Whatever the case, I'm always on edge understanding that when MySpace went away, that shocked me. So I wasn't prepared to transition to Facebook. Then Facebook stopped being used, so I had to transition to Instagram. And Twitter's been my favorite platform. It's because I'm a writer, and I love just being able. And I get the most diverse comments and opinions on Twitter that aren't inflammatory. It's very the dynamic opposite of Facebook. So when I go on Facebook and I tell them I'm kind of scared Elon Musk might ruin my Twitter experience, and they just want to fight me about it and get in arguments. I'm like, oh my God. That's why I don't want to use Facebook. And that's why I'm scared Twitter's going to go away.
Yeah.
So,
I know the fear. That's what's happening with Instagram. And I'm a visual artist, so I see Instagram sort of dying.
Bring back message boards. Bring back message boards.
Yeah, I agree.
So I can be Elon Musk of my own message board and fuck with you.
Well, Sage, man, it's been such a pleasure having you on and rejoining us. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention just again. I say it almost in every episode, but you being our first guest for this show was huge for us, and it was instrumental for us to want to continue doing it. And I'm super appreciative to you for that. Not only that, but the music that you've made your entire life really has made a huge difference in our lives. We were talking about it in the intro. We feel like we listen to you so much. It's it's such a part of our, I don't know, our life. You know how we tend to think we know you because we've listened to you our whole lives, but we don't, you don't. But yeah, I want to thank you for the years of that and for being supportive of to our show and for being a great person for all your artists on your label, because they've all been great guests and I've continued relationships with them, and they're all fucking awesome people. So
I appreciate that, and I'm very grateful that you were able to bring on those artists to your platform and have the discussions that you had. They all loved it. Everyone always gets back to me like, I'm so glad I did that. So you guys are doing great stuff.
Well,
Keep
thank
it going.
you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, have a great holiday, great New Year, and thanks for joining us. And we're looking forward to 2023.
Love the drawing, Ty. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Tell them happy holidays. Cause we tired of telling lies, pretending it wasn't true. Revolution televised, live on Fox News. We coming for Santa Claus and your nativity too. You want to declare war?
Yes, shoot.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I know you say it every time, every artist. Oh, we're going to your show.
Yeah, but that one's that's all the artists that I say will go. We can catch them all in one spot.
Oh, there you go.
And June 17th, we don't usually have a show, right?
We don't, but we do have some.
I know that.
Other things.
But I'm saying.
Definitely would certainly make an effort.
Let's just book a hotel now. Seriously.
Before everybody gets this message and books the hotel.
Yes, I'm serious. Okay. I'll reach out to them and find out what venue it's at, and then we'll book a hotel next to it. But I'm gonna see if some of the boys from the band and if anyone else would want to go. Just you and I will go, but I'm going to bring that up to them. All right, because that'll be great.
One thing I was going to say is I thought it was very insightful. Not insightful, but I think it may be obvious when he said the food and music for the holiday or a festivity. But have you ever noticed when we go to someone's party and they don't have music going?
Yes.
It's like there's
Obnoxious?
just an element just missing completely.
Yeah.
Music is so everything. I know that when I first met you, you had a friend who you grew up kind of at their house playing with all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I started going over there frequently when we started dating 25 years ago now to the week. Our neighbors. And they always had music going in the living room. And that was such a different experience for me. I mean, 24/7. And it was Johnny Cash and Elvis. So that's a heads up to who it was if people who know us listen. But I just thought this is so great because growing up, it was always the television on, which annoys me to no other. But in our house now, like, we have music going almost 24/7. There's music playing in one room or another of our house. If it isn't being played live.
Yeah, but that's my favorite part is that, sorry, where you don't.
No, I was just saying if it isn't being played live in our house by one of our children, it's being off of a phone or off of a record or off of a CD or from someone's Alexa. Alexa, stop listening. And yeah.
No, yeah, last night even. Our son Soul played the piano the piano's right in the living room. So you're trying to watch TV or you're trying to do anything. And he's wailing on the piano, but you just it doesn't bother me. It's not annoying. But I swear to God, he was playing for about 4 hours.
Oh, he was playing forever. And Nale was playing Minecraft and I was putting together a puzzle and he just started doing Christmas songs.
Oh, it was awesome, though.
And so she started singing, and he's reading it off tabs and not necessarily knowing the song. So we were getting a kick out of it because he was singing completely off key on some of them.
And it's just so loud because I was down in the basement.
So we were helping him sing. It was funny. I'm like,
great.
Oh, you're so Petersons right now because when I was growing up, our Christmas party at my dad's side, my grandma would play the organ, and just like in some of those cheesy movies, the whole family would be singing Christmas carols.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy to think about it. I can't see that happening anywhere now.
Well, I'm sure that if you were watching us, we've given away some stuff by now, and some of you might be hammered because I feel like the word Christmas came out a lot.
Home Alone never came up.
No, it didn't. But you
did we say Christmas a lot?
I feel like it. Maybe not. But I did want to close out. I did want to go through some of these trivia questions for you because I thought you'd be interested.
Okay, I was just gonna say nice Glow Kid shirt. First time I've seen that.
Oh yeah, I held on to it knowing that at some point I was gonna wear it. Yeah, that's that Glow Kid album. That's the album I did for
Alexander Brown
Strange Famous
on
Records.
Strange Famous.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's everybody.
I can't remember.
Yeah, and I think he's
who's
producing. I don't know if Meter Maids is still on the Strange Famous label, but there's some Hush. I have some inside Hush
just
things.
Be quiet.
Yeah, so I won't say them. That's one.
Blabbermouth.
I am a blabbermouth, but the one thing I'm not a blabbermouth about with the music. Anytime someone tells me like, "Oh, this is on the DL," I never need to. I'm way respectful of that. But here's the other questions. So he went with Thanksgiving. So that was. Did you know that answer? Jingle Bells.
I thought it was over the river and through.
That's Jingle Bells.
No,
isn't it?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
to grandmother's house we go.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. Okay, all right. Well, here's the question that was based on Hanukkah.
Okay.
8 Crazy Nights. It's a movie. It's an animated Hanukkah movie.
Adam Sandler.
Okay, that was the answer. Starring which Jewish comedian?
Oh, okay.
Adam Sandler. Okay, New Year's Eve. When was the first New Year's Eve ball drop?
Let's see. I think they had to stop it in World War II. So I'm gonna guess. Let's see. When was the World's Fair?
When was the first?
I'm thinking
New Year's Eve ball drop.
Was it always in New York, or did it come from?
I'm pretty sure it was
England?
Always in New York.
So I'm gonna just say, let's see. World War I was 1914. I'm gonna say.
Everyone's on edge.
1910.
Ooh, Jesus, Adrian.
My hands are...
You're way smarter than you give yourself credit for.
Put in my thing, so I'm not typing anything.
1907. Pretty close. All right, here's your Kwanzaa.
Uh-oh, I know nothing about Kwanzaa.
What is the candle holder for Kwanzaa called?
Well, it's not a menorah.
Pretty close, though.
The Majora. I don't know. What is it?
Tantra plus mantra equals yantra.
That's right.
It's called the Kanara.
Oh, okay.
And then your Christmas question. When was Christmas declared a national holiday?
In the U.S.? Because we're a nation?
Yeah.
Let's see. That was probably Roosevelt. 1947.
Nope, take it back.
Okay. Let's see. A bunch of Christians. 1877.
Ooh. The answer was 1870.
Oh,
that's close. That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks. Yeah, that was cool, right? Gosh dang, I always get nervous that I either droned on too long or that I wasn't getting anything interesting, or I don't know. I worry about that stuff in my head because it's hard for me to gauge a lot. You know, when you're having a conversation with people, you can gauge how the conversation's going based off of looking at each other.
I enjoyed myself, so
okay, cool.
I'm sure it was fine.
It had to have been. Sage
I just liked listening. I just liked hearing his voice. Just keep talking, Sage.
I know. It's just, you brought it up in the last week's episode about how you think it's funny when I can't. You think it's interesting.
Well, you didn't. There was nothing to miss. He was just watching you draw, I'm pretty sure.
Well, hopefully if you were playing a drink game, you drank responsibly. And
go have a glass of water.
Have a glass of water. Don't do any driving. Call an Uber or a Lyft.
Also, real quick, I know that not everybody enjoys Christmas or the season. It's oftentimes really a struggle for them. So if you're struggling, reach out to somebody. I hope that maybe this will have taken the edge off of some people just to check out and be well. Try to enjoy your holidays. I'm going to cry.
Why?
I don't know.
It's okay for you to cry.
I know of a lot of people who have a really hard time during the holidays. So,
well,
that's all. Merry Christmas.
Look at you. You have feelings.
No, I don't. I am full of cold oil inside.
No, that's impressive. You are probably the most thoughtful person that I've ever met.
Okay, Merry Christmas, goodbye.
No, because I would like to get in on that. Yes, if you're having tough times, reach out to someone. I know that sometimes it's hard to reach out to people. So how I'll go on the other side of that. If you know of someone who may possibly be having a hard time, reach out to them and let them know you're thinking of them. And because the holidays are a real tough time for people. So reach out to any of your friends. Reach out to your parents if they're alive. Reach out to those people and let them know you love them. And I know you should do it every day, but that's hard to do. The holidays are a perfect time for you to be able to do that. So happy holidays to everybody out there. Special thanks for all the artists and everyone who's joined us on our show in 2022. We're incredibly grateful to you, and we're incredibly grateful to anyone who collects Art by Ty's my work and who listens to the show and all of those other things. I believe there are probably a few more albums still left. The 7-inch Mr. Dibbs and Brett Fullerton's album that I did the album cover for. There probably are a few left. There were only 300, and that's it. Period. So moving those, Art by Ty, folks, you guys should be getting out there.
I'm on Strange Famous website right now, and it says that you get 25% off everything through December 24th. So if you're listening to this live, you still have a few more days to get.
2 days to get
a good sale.
Yeah, if you're listening to this too, you only really have about one more. Oh no,
a couple more.
Not from me. I can't ship anything. Nothing's going to get to you by the time this is out. By Christmas date, but it can be. So our DOD45W at DOD45W for our Instagram, and artbyty.com for all the artwork. Were we gonna do? We're not saying anything like go online. We don't need to do that here. We're doing that pre. Okay.
Okay.
That's it, everybody. Happy holidays and Happy New
See
Year.
you in
We'll see you in
2023?
2023. That's right. No, we'll see you one more day. Because Logic is our next guest. And
Oh.
I think that's in December. Maybe
Okay,
not. Okay,
never
anyway.
mind. Okay,
bye.
DOD 45.
Thank you for joining in on yet another episode of DOD 45. Please hit the subscribe or follow button so that you never miss an episode. You can even go one step further by leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts to help other interesting people like yourself find our podcast. You can find me at Art by Ty on all the socials or at artbyty.com. If you'd like to follow this podcast on social media, we are at DOD45W on Instagram, or you can go over to our website, DOD45.com, where you can shoot us an email, join our mailing list, and watch all of our past episodes. Thanks for joining us. Peace.